Welcome to February 17th. How are we all doing? See, a bunch of you already have logged on. That's awesome. I'm very excited. I hope everybody had a fantastic week. I know some of us on the West Coast are getting a huge storm, right? I think I'm about to get it. California's got theirs. So if you're having the storm right now, I'm really sorry to hear that. So already you guys sent me some really good questions. I was really cool that they were already waiting for me. Let's see. So I'm going to start a little fast real quick and go with it. The first one that I'm going to pick is Kit Kat said hello from West Phoenix. Thank you, Kit Kat. And Phil, okay, so Brian Dowling said, Phil, any experience with the Vox AC reissues, non-hand wired, thinking about the AC15C1? Yeah, I like them. The logic behind them was they took all the ones that they could find in the past and they kind of mixed them together and they made some fantastic amps. I've owned an AC30 and an AC15. I prefer the AC15 over the 30 only for the volume aspect. I just don't need that much wattage. Mr. XYZ, I wonder if you're like, hey, Mr. XYZ, is that XYZ the band? Because I love that band back in the day. The Parker Fly doesn't get much love from guitar players. Do you play yours much? I do not. Use the stereo output any? I don't. Favorite pickups, DiMarzio, or anything else you would care to add? Thanks so much from a Fly Guy. Yeah, the Parker's cool. I pretty much have mine retired. It's always in contemplation of selling it. To be honest with you, the main reason I haven't sold my Parker is my brother-in-law bought one exactly like mine at the same time, and he ended up trading his in, and that one hasn't sold, so mine has to be second. But in all fairness, I'm thinking about getting another one in a different color. Maybe one of the older ones again. So, let's see. Okay, it says, Kayla Estrada says, hi, Phil. This is Thomas from Pico Rivera, California. And it says, which do you prefer, the Fender Princeton, the Supro Comet, also the Sheriff 44, or the Freeman Runt? Well, I love the Supro Comet. I love it. It's a great amp. The Runt 20 is probably the one I use not the most. I use my Princeton 68 the most out of those four amps you're talking about. And since, if you saw the video this week, you guys know I'm getting out of the retail business. I can kind of tell you, I did not have a very good experience with Victory, so I really wouldn't be a good person to ask anymore when it comes to Victory stuff. My personal experience was not great with their amps, so I wouldn't use a Sheriff 44. But I like the Freeman Runt. I like the Supro Comet. I like the Princeton. But the sad thing is, it's not a better than thing. They're just vastly different amps. The Supro would probably be my favorite out of the three, even though I use the Princeton the most. I know it sounds weird to say it like that, but that's how it is. Kurt Singer says, hey, Phil. Hey, Kurt. And let's see. Jay says, great to see you live. Eric says, hey, Phil. I appreciate you guys kind of saying hi. There's 190 you already watching, so like I said, we'll have to stay on top of it so we don't get behind on questions. Let's see. Westport, Massachusetts. Mellow Yellow 3 says hi. Thoughts on Dr. Z amps? Any favorites? I love Dr. Z amps. When they started, right, they were amazing and affordable, and they've kind of come up in price, but fantastic amps. I don't have a favorite. To be honest, I wish I did. I just never really bought one. Jeff Sweet says, big shout out from Tucson, Phil. Go Coyotes. I'm originally from Tucson. I was born in California, but I lived in my childhood up until the day I joined the Army in Tucson, Arizona. So I am a Tucsonian, if that's a thing. Let's see. Oh, DM Column 223 says, hey, Phil, first time on the live show. Welcome. I appreciate you joining me. Brian says, awesome. Hey, from Ireland. All right. Ireland's pretty far. The Star Guitar Works says, cheers from Michigan. Kevin Douglas says, hi from Brazil. Miguel says, hello from California. I think you guys are getting hit by a storm right now in California. That's my understanding, and it's coming to us tomorrow. Peas Malo 67 says, hi from Blanco, Texas. Sunny and 50 degrees. Today it was sunny and it was like 80 degrees, 78, so warm. Tone for Days. Oh, I love that sign on, right? Tone for Days. I would buy a shirt that says Tone for Days. Oh, man, that's a great sign-on. Tone for Days says, Central Maryland here. John Constantine says, hey, Phil, hope all is well with you and your new decision. I'm really excited. If you can tell, I've been upbeat. It's been that decision was a heavy weight burden to have for a while, so it does feel good. It feels very liberating to know, to have a direction instead of being scatter-minded every day. Big Idea 100 says, hey, Phil and the gang. I'm the gang, or this is the gang. We're the gang. Scenario says, hello, Philip. Love these live chats. Keep up the great work. I love the live chats, too. I have so much fun. I have more fun, I think, when there's a guest on, and the guests are coming. I actually have some really cool cats to come on and do the live shows. I've just been pushing it back and pushing it back, so I wanted to make sure that I really polish this, make sure it's always coming on at 3. We're always moving. There's no hang-ups or issues, and before I start bringing people into my mess. Eddie Waters says, I guess I need to represent Flagstaff. Flagstaff is cool. It's one of my favorite places to go when it's hot down here. Joshua Campbell says, what is your favorite gigging amp? Well, I don't do much gigging anymore, Joshua, but my favorite gigging amp for blues would probably be the Hot Rod Deluxe, just because it's easy and it's a go-to amp. Otherwise, I like the Paul Reed Smith Archons. I really like them a lot. Joe Berry says, hi. Bernard says, hey. I'm saying hi, too. Steve says, hello from Boulder Creek, California. Fred says, hey. Julio says hola from Honolulu, Hawaii. Say that twice as fast. Honolulu, Hawaii. Hawaii is amazing. I would love to go sometime. There is, I think everybody in my family's been but me. So let's see. It says, Tobias is hi from the Netherlands. So hi, Tobias. Okay, so Nick wants to know, any comments or suggestions on the Carvin V3M amp? You know, interesting, Nick. I don't know if you've been spying on me, but I've been looking at videos and thinking about the V3. Of course, I know you weren't spying on me, but the V3 amp like crazy. I am 98% sure I'm getting the new Carvin Legacy 3. I am just almost there, and the only thing that's been holding me back was I was thinking about getting the Carvin V3. You know what it was when the new 5150 LBX came out with the clean channel. I was really contemplating getting it, and then it kind of dawned on me that the Carvin Legacy 3 has 3 channels, 3 reverbs, all these features, and it's about the same price, a little bit more, but not much. So I'm thinking about that. But I was looking at the V3 just in case I wanted to get that instead. Let's see. Eric wants to know, what do you think of the new AC15C1? I may not be aware that it's different than the old AC15. So you might have to help me out because I have to do this off memory. AC15C was C for combo, but I don't know what the 1's for. TJ Noonan says, Duluth Trading Ballroom. All right. Question mark. I don't know what that means. TJ, you got me stumped. Okay. Ken Trock says, you are an aging skateboarder too, aren't you? A little bit. I'm a little too chunky for skateboarding nowadays. I do have, and I am dumb enough, so you know, I bought scooters. I have really nice, like professional grade scooters. Me and the kids, and I do it a lot, and it hurts really bad when I fall, but it happens. Let's see. Mike wants to know. So the MIM Strat, Michael Kelly or Sterling Cutlass? All 3 of those guitars are fantastic. There's nothing wrong with quality. If I was picking one, I'd pick the Strat, but it's really out of a comfort zone to always just buy a Strat as a standard product. But I'll do it in order. If I was going to buy them for myself, it would be the Strat, then it would be the Sterling, then it would be the Michael Kelly. I just like them in that order. So let me know what you end up getting in the future. Let me know. I'm curious. Jay Clark says, I just picked up a PRS CE24 and it sounds darker than I expected. Any suggestions on replacement pickups or something else? Yeah, a lot of people are talking about the 8515s. I should point out that although I like the 8515s, my Paul Reed Smith over there, CE24 no longer has 8515s. It has PRS Mira pickups in it. I swapped the Mira pickups in that, and I put the 8515s in my Mira. They just kind of lightened up. So given that, it seems like you want to go lower output because it seemed to really make the guitar kind of come to life. But I don't know. You might want to also play with the height on those as well. 5909s are also very nice. Eric wants to know, have you heard or a release date for the new Bogner Oxford fuzz pedal? No, not officially, but I know they have a bunch of pedals like the Dirty Shirley, and there's a bunch of others that are all have to come out, and that's all coming from boutique amps. So I'm gonna imagine pretty cool, pretty close to soon. My impression of everything is March and April. So, however, if you don't know the joke, NAMM stands for not available, maybe May. So a lot of stuff does come out months afterwards, but I heard March and April for a lot of that stuff. I know on the Dirty Shirleys that we're saying like March. Kanziki4 says, hi Phil, did you check out the Schecter PT special yet? Tele style with P90 and set neck. Oh, in the P90 in the neck. Thanks from Justin in Pittsburgh. I did. I like the PT. The PT's fun fact for you guys know. The Schecter PT stands for Pete Townsend because Pete Townsend really played a Telecaster made from Schecter parts. Schecter used to be a mail order catalog to buy parts. And so they gave the PT, they named that the PT because of that, because he obviously doesn't have an official endorsement with it. I did play it. It's very cool. I've always liked the PTs by Schecter. Schecter is a brand that just always has quality. There's a lot of things you can like or dislike it about visually or their marketing or whatever, but quality is never a complaint for them in the most part. So very good stuff. In fact, I've said this over and over again. Even earlier when somebody asked me just now about the Mexican Strat and the Michael Kelly and the Sterling, I would probably end up picking the Schecter California series type guitar over that because it's a really good guitar. Alex says Florida's here. All right, Alex, nice to have Florida here. Let's see. Dylan says, if you're closing the store, can we revisit your website concept? The website concept is still in play. It's still being worked on. Really what happens, you guys can imagine, I just have like 4 or 5 plates spinning in the air, and I'm just spinning them every day. And what's happening though, and this is where it's hard to convey that in a 5-minute video, I'm really just disappointing everybody at some point, right? You got to do something and do it well. So I decided to pick the things that I thought not only do I love doing, but I thought could enhance each other, right? I think having, online information, videos, and a place for people to go and get lessons, and a place to repair instruments and teach people how to repair instruments, they were all conducive and congruent and kind of work together. So the website is definitely coming. I will know more tomorrow again. My goal is to have it up in March. Let's see. Wade says, hi from Western Kentucky. And I've been to Kentucky before. I was in Fort Knox. Let's see. It says Zones. I'm going to say that's how you say it. Zones. Hi, Phil. Ampeg VH140C. Whoa, that's a blast from the past. Is there anything made today that is similar or better? Man, if you guys don't remember the VH140C, that was back when Ampeg was doing that kind of cool guitar stuff. I don't know if there's anything like that. I'm sure if you do some Googling, there's probably tube circuits now based on that, but I don't know. To me, that was a unique amplifier. So I don't know. I wish I knew the answer, but I like the blast of past. Tone for Days wants to know, have you played the Atomic Amplifier 3-button and new 12-button? They are quite enough for live use. Oh, I haven't done it yet. I keep hearing things about that product line, but I haven't checked it out myself. Ricky wants to know, hey Phil, what pickups would you suggest for a Jackson Dinky DK2? Well, does your Jackson DK2 already have Seymour Duncans or Duncan Designs in it? I find that's very important. The first thing that's most important for me when deciding that your guitar pickups aren't what you want in a guitar, you have to figure out what they are. I get it a lot in the repair shop. People are like, I want to take these out and put something else in. What do you suggest? I'm like, well, what's in there and what don't you like about it? That'll push us in a direction. So you have to figure out what's in there first. If it's not branded in any way, at least you can put it on a multimeter and figure out what kind of output, or the high output or the low output, and from there we can kind of figure out where to go. So that's something I would start with. Troy Marshall wants to know, good morning from New Zealand. Love the show. Thank you. Hello from Guitar Freak wants to know, says hello from Venezuela. Arriba, Phil. All right. That's pretty cool. There is 385 people watching, which is fantastic. I just let you guys know so you know how many questions are kind of tracking in. I just want to stay on top of them. Okay, let's go this way. Okay, Eric wants to know, what's a 7-string called? Thanks so much. The 7th string is usually the B string. It's a low B, right? So very rarely is it anything else. Unless, of course, the guitar is a full step down. It could be A, but should be a B. Jim Barrow says, hey, Phil from Vacaville, California. Am I saying that right? Vacaville? Like Vacaville? Vacaville. What is your thoughts on the new Line 6 Helix? I haven't tried it. You know, this year I decided that I do want to get more involved with the Axe FX, Kemper, and Helix, at least in an exploratory sense. I think it'd be fun not to review them, but to kind of experiment with the idea of messing with them. To see, you know, right? To see what we're all missing or not missing. One thing I noticed is there's a lot of videos about them comparing them to each other and high-end amps, but not to lower price processors to see what really you're getting, you know. So I want to compare them against some lower price processors. Dave says, XOZ, Inside Out. Great guitar player Mark was. Oh, yeah. Oh, I think you mean XYZ, Inside Out. Yeah, great guitar player. Yeah, Mark, he was. Samuel Packer says, use Princeton Reverb Silverface or a used 68 Reverb reissue. Obviously, you know, a lot of times when you get to older Fender amps, they just have that kind of, they have it kind of magic. But they also have sometimes a lot of problems. Dried out caps, all kinds of issues. Samuel, my experience personally is if you are not savvy with amps and do not buy used amps like old amps like Princeton's and stuff unless you trust the person you're buying it from or you know what you're looking at and you know what to look for. Because it can always end up a repair issue later with stuff. But that being said, you know, I have the 68 Deluxe Reverb reissue. Oh, no, I lied. I had it. I ended up keeping the 68 Princeton. The 68 Deluxe Reverb reissue was very good. It's really bassy. It's a little darker, but I really liked it. Skater Bra says, hello from Ottawa. Looking for a relatively inexpensive tube amp. Never had one. Currently have a Mustang 3. I really like the Super Champ X2. That's something to look at for home use. It gets you into the tube world. If you're used to Mustang 3, you use the same Fuse type software. It's very familiar with it. It's something to look at. It's got Fender's warranty. I mean, it's just a cool product. Songs from the Classroom says, hey, brother, have you had a chance to try the Music Man Valentine model? I haven't. Just pre-ordered one, and it's an amazing instrument. No, I didn't, you know, right? But it looks cool as heck. Big Idea 100 says, Phil, I just saw you mention, just saw a mention of you in the Music Academy in the March 2007 Guitar Magazine. Yeah, right? They did the front page cover of Guitar Player Magazine. They did an article in the article, if you love the irony of things, they did an article, and in the article, they mentioned the article that was written about my video. It was, right? So it's an article that mentions an article about my video. But either way, I agree with you. I got the mention in there, and they mentioned the Academy, and it was nice to get some kind of credit for talking about that subject when I really think it's an important subject to talk about. And if you guys all want to just hate me and watch me crash the channel in front of everybody in the world right now, I think they should have put Taylor Swift on the cover of the magazine this month, since they talked about her so much. Just because, why not? You know, right? They mentioned in the article that girls are dominating the market, like I was saying, that they are starting to grow and they're becoming a bigger part of the market. But then they didn't do anything in the magazine to entice the girls to come to buy the magazine. So I was confused about that part, but other than that, it was a great article. Okay. It says Colin Barnes, hey Phil, what do you think of the PRS Dragon 2 pickups? Would it be stupid for me to replace with bare knuckles? You know, the original Dragon pickups were never highly desired. People really don't feel like Paul Reed Smith got it right. I have had some weird experiences with Dragon 2 pickups. I played guitars and I thought, oh, I hate these pickups. And then I play guitars and I go, oh, I love this guitar. And then I found out it had Dragon 2 pickups. So, but all bare knuckles are really good pickups, so it's up to you. The problem is I can't tell you quantifiably how much improvement you would get from going from an expensive PRS pickup to an expensive bare knuckle pickup. I can't guarantee you that you would get enough value to make it make sense. But you could always give it a try. Okay, so let's see. It says next. Bernard says, if you had to choose between a BEOD, okay, the 5150 OD, or the LPD A7, which would you pick? Oh, it's so tough. Okay, so I like the BEOD a lot. I play it a lot. I have, though, honestly, of those 3 pedals, I find myself continually playing the 5150 Overdrive the most, by far. And the reason is because I use those types of pedals, because I like my amp distortion. I use those pedals for late night playing. And for some reason, all 3 do the same thing for me. They make the sound really thick, low volumes. Although, ironically, here's the weird answer I'm going to give you. So like this. I think the 5150 OD is my favorite. However, it does not sound great turned up. It sounds great low volume. The BEOD sounds really good low volume and better turned up, and the 87 sounds fantastic turned up and pretty good low volume. So it's really what your needs are. If you're going to try, like, the LPD really is the premium class professional grade pedal of the 3. It's definitely built the best and stuff, but like I said, sometimes quality doesn't equate to your desire, and for some reason I still like the 5150. A guy, Bravada, says, hey Phil, what do you think of the 2017 Gibson Firebird T or SG? I thought they were cool. I'm not a big Firebird guy. I'm not a big size guitar guy, because I'm sitting in the bedroom a lot, so I like the guitars to be comfortable. The new SG would be more compatible to my liking, but I still enjoy them both for sure. I really thought it was cool. I like that Gibson's trying, right? It's been so many years of Gibson just doing nothing. So at least if Gibson's giving an effort to get it out there, good on them, so to speak, right? So next question is thoughts on Jet City amps. I really think Jet City amps should have been, if you guys remember it the way I remember it, do you remember when this all came out? Remember it was Agnator, and then there was Jet City, and there was Blackstar, and all these inexpensive amp lines just popped out of nowhere. I thought Jet City was the best of the bunch, but it seems like they're doing the worst of the bunch. So I don't understand. But quality-wise, every Jet City to me sounds so good. I can't believe it's not really a Soldano for the most part. Do you think the Bugera V5 is good? Not bad for a little tube amp? It's good. My only issue is it's not much. If you have it, it's a great amp. If you're looking to buy it, I always mention that there's other amps in the same price range that will have probably better resale value. But if you're looking to get one used, the Bugera's resale value is not very awesome, so sometimes you can score that deal. The Guitar Hangout says, have you had an experience with the Brandon wound pickups? I have not. I haven't heard of them. But I thought somebody mentioned them before, right? So Richard says, hi from Australia. Love your channel. Thank you, Richard. Currently, there's 433 of you guys watching. It's a pretty big live broadcast. So I hope I'm staying up in the questions. Let's see. It says, play any slide guitar? I kind of play a little slide guitar, like a lot of people that I give it a try. I also subscribe to the can't serve too many masters kind of concept. So, I'm trying to stay away from things that I know I probably won't have a whole lot of luck mastering or getting very, very, I guess, accomplished at when I still haven't got other things down. But I like to mess with it a lot because it's just funny. And fun. I should say fun, not funny. Brian says, hello and greetings from Boston. Thank you for your honest reviews. Have you ever played a Fernandez Vertigo Elite? Not that I recall. I played a bunch of Fernandez guitars, but I've never been really familiar with what the names of the Fernandez guitars. Fernandez is like one of those brands that a lot of us are familiar with. I've picked them up in music stores. I've seen them come through the bench over the years, but I don't think I've ever seen like a dealer. I don't think I've ever physically walked into a store and seen like a bunch of Fernandezes on the wall in a group, right? They're kind of like this elusive thing where I've never seen a dealer. So I'm not very familiar. And I think I thought I would look for him twice at the show, and I didn't see him at the NAMM show this year, so I didn't know how I missed it. Okay, so next. Whoops, hold on, guys. Let's see. Here we go. Says CSP Doug 52 says, hello. How do you upgrade reverb on your first generation Blues Junior? Well, would you want to? You're talking about upgrading the tank. You really can, as far as I know. Accutronics pretty much makes all the reverb tanks, and they're all pretty much the same size. So there might be something out there in a forum that I don't know about, but I've never really seen an upgrade that you can do. If anyone knows, make a comment. But to me, the tank is the tank. It's the size of the tank. Reverb is about the size of the tank and the space in that side of that amp. So the only upgrade I know is you can put it in a bigger box and then put a bigger tank in there. That would be cool. RXR in Arizona says, what are the chances of you repairing and setting up a couple of guitars before the shop closes? Okay, RXR in Arizona, that would be easy. It's totally easy because I'm not going to stop doing repair. In fact, that's one of the reasons why retail has to go. I'm going to do repair Monday through Friday and do videos because repair only takes a half a day every day, and right? And videos take another half, and that will be my day. And then we'll have lessons. We just won't do with selling retail. Drew wants to know, hey Philip, 946 strings on a Floyd Rose guitar. Good idea or not? That's what I use. No, I don't. I use 942. 946 is great on a Floyd Rose, especially if you drop D a lot. So Eddie Van Halen strings come that way. There's no downside to it. It doesn't affect the bridge. You just have to adjust the springs. I'm trying to say the name. It's oh man, I'm gonna butcher it. Guilherme? I just killed it. I'm sorry, but it's greetings from Brazil. I'm sorry I can't say the name. Let's see. Cameron says, thoughts on the Schecter PT Standard? I already said that. It's a great. Oh, that's kind of like the other PT. I love the Schecter PT. It's a great guitar. Groundhog VV says, is the Fender 60-ish blackface worthy of getting refurbished? Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. They're classic amps. Think about this. This technology, it's not like old iPhones and stuff. We're not going to throw it away. Those old amps are around forever. So either you sell it and you go on to your next amp, or you keep fixing it. But it's going to last forever. You'll never not get money out of it because it can last forever, right? DMC Column 223 says, hey Phil, Dan from Michigan, first time. Love your show. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, next. Hold on a second. Let's see. And the next, TJ wants to know, is your Prince noisy? Do you mean my Princeton? It's not. There's a lot of those smaller amps have this kind of weird hum to them, but nothing horrible. Jeff says, finally talking Supro. Yes, love Supros. Yeah, like I said, I think I like what Friedman and Supro are doing, which is giving Fender and Marshall a run for their money. Let's see. Miguel says, just finished installing a set of Wiggins brand pickups on my classic Vibe 50 Squire. Awesome. I hope you love them. I just found out, somebody just told me that he's doing humbuckers now, and they sent me a picture and everything, and I was like, they just got some, so I'm curious about his humbuckers now. Ron Park says, who do you see as the most exciting company in 2017? Oh, man, that's a good question. Convenient time to take a drink. Ron, most exciting company in 2017. Yeah, because that's right? Who's got the buzz? Who's doing it, right? I just feel like if I throw an answer out, it's just because I can think of something. Really, I don't know if I saw somebody really coming at it, with fresh ideas or a fresh market approach or anything like that. So I don't know. But I'll think about it. I promise not to let it go. Panhandle Gear Demo says, hey, what's up, Phil? Watching you while I'm milking the cows. That's awesome. Right? Hey, you got to get work done. Sergio says, greetings, Phil. What is your opinion on the Zilla cabinets? Zilla cabinets. Oh, yeah, the Zilla cabinets? Thanks in advance. I've never tried one. I've just heard that they're really cool. So again, I don't know. Let's see. Songs from the classroom. If you had to choose only one amp and use a pedal platform, what amp would it be, my brother? Keep up the amazing work, dude. You're rocking it. Thank you, Songs from the Classroom. Pedal platform amp for me, I love the Archon, which is the 25-watt Archon. I really like that. My 65 Deluxe Reverb. But one of my favorite pedal platforms is a Hot Rod Deluxe. It's just like made to take pedals. They all sound great. But personally, even though I've had a lot of Hot Rod Deluxes, I finally just kind of kept going and I ended up with the Archon 25. Just because I like the gain channel, and the clean channel does the exact same. But for the price, the Hot Rod Deluxe is a killer product. Okay, next. It just skips on me. Sometimes it skips. Next one is Scatterbrain says bass cabinets, 210 or 115. I'm 210 guy. 15s are about sending a distance, a low frequency for a long distance. I mean, unless you're outside anymore, right, or trying to capture some old 70s big rock sound, 10s are more efficient and better. But again, what's great about that is it's not a better thing. It's 10s are more efficient and have a snappier kind of punch, and they're going to sound great. 15s are warmer and bigger. But I will always have 210s over 115. So Hank says, holy bad word, there's a lot of people here. And let's take a look, because I haven't looked in a second. There is, yes, 456. There is a lot of us on this on this channel today. Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, so let me not get distracted so I can stay on the questions. Okay. Says John Kane wants to know, what do you think of Callahan guitars, guitar parts? Oh, Callahan. I've installed a dozen Callahan bridges over the years. I personally think it's weird, the short whammy bar. It's not my thing, but man, the bridges are quality. So if you like that short whammy bar or the tremolo bar, that's cool. But the quality of his parts, there's no question that they're good. Hold on, I skipped a couple. If I skip any, like I said, I'm sorry guys, I'm trying to catch them all. Let's see. Next is, what do you think? Oh, Shane says, what do you think of the DSL-40? Shane, I did a review of the DSL-40 against the Hot Rod. I really thought it was great. To me, it's one of the best Marshall products they put out there. I wish they make the DSL-40 in a head. I think that would be the rocker. Same size as the cabinet, just make a head. I'd probably own it in a second. Because I don't need another combo. But combo-wise, I think it's good. It's one of their better amps that they've made in the last few years. Ken wants to know, oh, sorry, I already did that one. Because it jumps up, guys. It jumps up and then it jumps down for me. Rod's Guitar says, hi from Ireland. Hello. Steven says, hi from the UK. Jay says, yes, in LA, rainy and windy. Yeah, like I said, I heard Johnny Bean post, or saw him post when I was at lunch with my daughter and wife today, that it was power's out. So Dirk says hi from Germany. Magic Force says hi from Denmark. And Dave is saying hi all the way from Tempe, Arizona. No, I'm just saying that because Tempe's like right here. It says, thoughts on your top compressor pedals. Mike, I've owned a lot of compressor pedals. I love a lot of compressor pedals. The two that I keep using right now is the Ego from Wampler, and Lawrence Petros made me a compressor. I made a compressor, and he made a prototype, and somebody bought the prototype, and then I got another one. So I have one. It's awesome. I don't know what it is, and I don't even know if he's making it, but I play it like constantly. But other than that, like compressors you can get, I like the MXR Custom Comp Deluxe. I had the Keeley, that was good. But I think those two compressors, the one I just told you, the Ego and Lawrence's pedals, are my favorite. Then the third would be the Maxon CP101, because Dave Wiener, who plays with Steve Vai, said it was the best, so I bought one and it was fantastic. Chuck says, thoughts on the new crank amps? You know, I've seen Tony messing with amps, but I haven't seen much about it, so I don't know. I haven't tried them. I haven't, I know it's weird because he's like right in the same town as me, but I haven't had a chance. Steven says, Phil, do you have any experience with the Electro Harmonix Sovtek MiG 50 reissue? I had a Sovtek that was stolen, but I'm living in a rural area. Can't find the EH version to test. I haven't tried it. I'm really curious myself. $579, right? Doesn't sound like crazy for a 50-watt amp. It's assembled in the USA, so obviously from import parts, but still is realistic. But no, I don't know much. And I have a feeling that kind of amp isn't going to translate well on YouTube, because those kind of amps, as you know, they got to crank a little bit. So I don't know. I thought about buying one to check it out, and then I kind of talked myself out of it. James says, hi from Louisiana. My question is, what do you think of the Blue Guitar Amp Pedal 1, or one pedal? I liked it a lot. Like I said, it's $799, and if I was gigging, that would be a definitely contender for something I'd want to use. But at home, I don't know why. I don't really feel a need to have it. But I am curious. And then Fiam says, Fiam says, hi from Pakistan. And he says, have you tried the Concept Relish guitar? And I haven't tried it. The Relish guitar. One thing I hate about these live feeds is when you guys make these comments, they disappear at the end. If you could, stuff like that, if you could put it in the notes after the video's up so I can go look at those in case I forget. Let's see. Next is, okay, TJ's just being weird. Wah, 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 2 stone. All right. Steven, I already did that one. Let's go to the next one. And Jazz James 616 says, yo Phil, hey from Wisconsin. Hey, let's see. Liam says, shout out from London. Loving the work. I appreciate that. Okay, let's do, Marcus is from Utah. Hi Marcus. Jay said it was rainy in LA. Okay, we also have Noich Private from Netherlands. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so Brandon wants to know, what's my opinion on the Victoria The Victoria Tweed amps. I have never tried them. My only Victoria amps I ever tried was, remember the Playboy by Gretsch and all the Gretsch amps? Those were built by Victoria. So I've played all them, and so those are kind of lineage to Victoria because of the fact that they were by that. But I've never played a Victoria amp. They're pricey, and I just don't have access to them. I've never found. They haven't even come through. I've just never seen one. Big Idea 100 says, the Taylor Swift is the new Eddie Halen. Your Taylor Swift is the new Eddie Van Halen video. Got mentioned in Guitar of the Player this month. Yes, I saw that. Like I said, it was really cool. Like I said, it was nice of them to mention that. I think that's kind of where they kind of got the idea to start that article, or at least it contributed to the concept of them wanting to do that article. Cameron Olson says, when did you serve? Currently active duty Navy. Love the channel. I served in 1995 because I'm old, and I was in the Army, and I was a 63 hotel, which means I worked on heavy equipment. And turned wrenches basically. So, and I was stationed in Maryland, and I did basic in Fort Knox, Kentucky, and it was very exciting. And thank you for your service, especially the Navy. You guys really have to work. I have a bunch of buddies in the Navy, and one who retired as a chief from the Navy, and I know that's a 24-hour job. So, God bless you for that. Santonio wants to know, suggestion for a single coil rail pickup. Me for a rail pickup, I always like the Seymour Duncan rail or any of the DiMarzio rails. They're great pickups. It's hard to just suggest a pickup blindly without knowing like what kind of guitar or vibe you're going for. Cool rails are good, right? I like those too. I think if I was just going to blindly suggest a pickup, I'd say the cool rails. The sign on, I'm pooping right now. I'm replacing my pickups on my Jagstain, but the wiring is confusing. Help. Now, did you already take everything out? I always tell everybody, make sure when you start working on a guitar, you always get your cell phone out and you take pictures of everything detailed before you cut, move, desolder, anything. If you haven't done that, the only hope you have at this point is you have to go to Seymour Duncan's website, and it doesn't matter what pickups you're using. Just use Seymour Duncan's website and pull up the schematic for pretty much any kind of guitar and look at it. And you can also get schematics from Fender in resources too. If you go to Ask Know Your Gear and you send me stuff, I'll get to it. I try to get to as many of those as possible, especially now, right? That's what we're trying to stay focused on. Let's see. Ben Goods says, on holiday in Budapest, still tuning in. Well, I appreciate that. I hope you're enjoying a nice beverage and watching and having fun. There is 474 people watching right now. So that is amazing. And I know I'm shaking the camera by messing with it. Okay, so let's see. Scott's saying hi from York, Pennsylvania. Okay, Julio says, Phil, any thoughts on the Epiphone Wildcat? I owned a Wildcat. I want to say 2007 is when I owned one. I loved it. It was one of those guitars I had, I loved, I got rid of, and then probably bought 2 or 3 guitars that were more expensive than that, and to realize that I should have just kept that one. But, sometimes you can't go back because, you bought it, you sold it, you lost the money, and if you buy it again, but fantastic. One of my favorite Epiphones, I would say. I would probably my top 5 Epiphones for sure. Cool guitar because it's got its own little vibe going. Let's see. John wants to know, what's my recommendation on a used 50-watt tube head? Again, John, it's hard without knowing what kind of music you're looking for. But 50-watt heads, obviously the JCM 2000 50 watts, great. I like the 5150 by amps by EVH are good. There's a lot of great 50-watt amps out there. It just depends. So if you threw a style of music, that would help. And stuff like that. Don't forget also too, I tell everybody, don't forget the old used stuff, man. There's those old Ampeg, American-made Ampegs, American-made PVs, Carvins, right? There's lots of stuff. I don't know what you said. What's your like I said, I'm looking at the new Carvin Legacy 3. It's new and it's $799. So, and the and the Carvin the Carvin VM 3. That's 50 watts. It's not used, but it's in used price range for sure. I'm messing it up. Hi from Puerto Rico. So, okay, Dylan says, hi, Phil, from Niagara Falls in Canada. Oh, so you're on the my dad is from Niagara Falls, obviously on the U.S. side. But In fact, that's how come we ended up in Arizona. He woke up one day, didn't want to shovel snow, and he moved here. Okay, so Patio says, do you use a pick or fingerstyle most? I use fingerstyle most. I hold a pick though, and it's because I've been playing bass, so I'm used to my thumb. And that's the tricky part is, and I know you're saying you can't make up your mind. I have the same problem. My problem's even worse because a lot of players will play with the pick and then use these fingers. I want to use my thumb a lot, so I actually pull the pick up this way and use my thumb. It's just I feel more comfortable that way. Like I said, I played guitar now for like 26 years. Of those 26, at least 10 of them, I only played bass. I didn't play any guitar at all. So, you know, that's a hard habit to get away from. Randy says hi from Louisiana. So, hello, Louisiana. There is. And Jules changed to increase privacy. Says hello from Edinburgh, Scotland. Scotland's very green and beautiful. I would love to go there one day. Brad says hi from Germany. And he says Strat Pro or Elite are nearly the same price. Yes. Can't find them locally to compare. Which one would you go for? Elite. The Elite's a better. It's got the better neck. It's got the compound radius neck. You know, they're close. I was hoping that when the Pros came out, I was like, oh, that will just be as good as the Elite, but different. It's really, they feel the necks. To me, the necks are different, but they feel reminiscent of each other. But the Elite has the better compound radius feature. And I like the bridge a little better, you know, right? So for the most part. So, like I said, I can only tell you what I think. I like the Elite better. Let's see. Ben says hi from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And Tom says hi from Imperial Beach, California. My question is, how can you know if you're getting a quality guitar pedal? Well, Tom, that's the trick. You can't, right? That's really what we're all getting bummed out about, right? Here's the thing. You can make an amazing pedal for $50. So it's really becoming a question of, you know, when a pedal's $300, why is it $300? Well, you know, there's not a lot of great answers. One of the things I like when I pick on Lawrence from Lawrence Petros Pedals is Lawrence is a small builder who builds his pedals. So a lot of the cost in his pedals is, you know, he is design, manufacturing, you know, right? It's a small builder. Russ from Taurus Pedals, same way. These guys are building pedals and they are literally craftsmen doing their thing as a craftsman should. I mean, I know it's a technology, but it's a craftsman, right? So there's a reason that drives the prices, but realistically, you can't tell because every time I buy a pedal and open it up, I never come to any conclusion that there's a lot of quality in there that comes up with the price. So there you go. But you can lean into the brands that have the best reputations. That helps. BS324 says hi from Alberta, Canada, and I can't say the first name, so I'll say the last name. Is Branny says hi from Czech Republic. And Steve is hi from North Wales. And, okay, so John says, what do you think of the Callahan guitar? Oh, I don't know. I thought it was parts. I thought we got confused. I'll just keep going. Like I said, Danny Sands says, have you ever tried Brian Moore guitars? Yes. I used to be a Brian Moore dealer in 2005. They were fantastic. They just kind of went away, right? It wasn't even like the recession. It was just like, here they go, right? Remember Musician's Friend had them? They were fantastic, right? They had the import ones. They had the MIDI systems. I just started carrying them because when I opened the store, I literally opened the store, and that was one of the first, that was the first brand. I just called them on the phone and became a dealer in my kitchen and just bought them. I don't even know what I was thinking at the time. But what I found out was people who love them just love them. So I came to the store and gave the store some credibility because people were like, no one ever had these. But they just kind of went away. You know, I know they're still around, but you understand what I'm saying, right? They're not the same anymore. They're not as big as they